he would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit, like hating on, like doing things with people I'd done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I was like, yeah, so all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them and shit.
Yeah. Leftovers.
Yeah.
Just take your leftovers. A lot of niggas have more leftovers.
I've lived an exciting life. I think it'll do well on the big screen.
There's gonna be a Diddy movie?
Yeah, one day. Charlamagne, I plan on being great, man. You are great. I plan on having movies made about me. I plan on there being statues and different things like that. You know what I'm saying, man?
Damn.
50 Cent has been working on this documentary for almost 2 years. The footage he has is insane. The people he got speaking about Diddy is ridiculous. And on top of that, there's an Instagram post. He goes and does the interview about Diddy's documentary on ABC. And they say the reason why he did it on ABC is because ABC news station is one of only few stations they're allowed to watch in prison.
So he's doing very well. He calls me to the BMG building. You know, it's just me and him in the office. And he seemed very nervous. He seemed so nervous that his lips turned white. And he says, Sonny, I'm gonna offer you $50,000. So I remember looking around the office and I'm seeing all these plaques now on the wall. Platinum plaques, gold plaques. I said, brother, you got all this going on and you offering me $50,000? He said, Sonny, man, listen, man, you know, that's real generous. That's a generous donation. And I lost it. I said, is Sonia your fucking friend? You offered me $50,000 and you gave Sonia the ticket to go to that event? That was a slap in my face. I don't want to talk money. I want you to help me do something in their memory. I said, but is Sonia your friend? He wouldn't answer me.
If Shawn Combmes watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth.
So a lot of people have been talking about whether this turns another bad light onto hip-hop and hip-hop being attacked and like why 50 Cent wants to be the person that adds into this. Let's take a listen to 50 talk about that.
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Shawn Combmes was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things. It would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that.
This has nothing to do with hip-hop, and I hate when they do that. Like when Harvey Weinstein is on trial, nobody says, well, is this Hollywood on trial? And when Abercrombie and Fitch guys on trial, nobody says, is the clothing industry on trial? Correct. Like, no, this has nothing to do with hip-hop. No. This was one man's choices. That's it. This is about Diddy and nothing else.
It was a Diddy party, but there's a camera that swings around and they go, hey, yo, oh, Odell Beckham, and you see Justin Bieber's head come up from his crotch, and he looks in the camera and he's very confused. It's a really disturbing video.
If you thought the new Diddy documentary on Netflix was wild, brace yourself, because most viewers only scratched the surface. What you saw was the surface story, the official narrative, the carefully selected interviews, the dramatic music cues. What you didn't see, what Netflix quietly left in the shadows, are the offhand comments, the subtle mistakes, and the accidental footage that completely reframes the story. The Reckoning isn't just a documentary, it's a psychological case study. It's the unraveling of a billionaire caught in his own web of influence, power, and ego, filmed without him realizing the cameras were still rolling. There are secrets, hidden details, and narrative tricks that change everything you think you know about the story. And the craziest part? Most viewers missed the most important moments. They didn't catch the symbolism, the origins of leaked footage, or the deliberate editing choices that shaped perception. Once you see this documentary through the right lens, it's like watching a completely different film. Let's break down the 10 most revealing, shocking, and overlooked moments you probably didn't notice in Shawn Combmes. The Reckoning. The first moment most people completely miss is the leaked phone call footage. Netflix presents it as just another piece of evidence, another moment in the unfolding story. But in reality, it exists because of a mistake. Diddy's personal videographer, the man responsible for documenting everything, didn't show up that day. Instead, a replacement was sent. This replacement wasn't briefed, he wasn't under contract, he wasn't even paid the usual rate. And because he wasn't under contract, he legally owned the footage he captured. That footage included the most vulnerable, spiraling moments of Diddy's life. Panic, emotional unraveling, the breakdown of a carefully orchestrated legal strategy. This wasn't a whistleblower moment. It wasn't leaked by a journalist or a rival. It was a freak accident, a simple oversight that exposed the empire from the inside out. Most viewers don't realize the significance. The collapse we saw wasn't engineered by outside forces. It was self-inflicted, amplified by chance. It turns a story of scandal into a story of unintended self-destruction. Then there's the moment in that call where Diddy says, "The core theme needs to be, you didn't do anything wrong." Most people hear it and move on. But look closely at the words. He doesn't say, "I didn't do anything wrong." He's framing a narrative. He's not defending himself. He's producing a story. He's controlling the perception, building a character of the innocent mogul, the misunderstood titan facing the storm. You can almost hear him rehearsing PR lines with his team, but not legal arguments. This moment reveals his psychological approach. Diddy doesn't confront reality, he reframes it. He crafts a story where perception becomes reality, where public belief is more important than truth. But the story gets darker when you examine who he recruits for this task. Most celebrities hire standard PR firms. Diddy goes beyond that. He's looking for operators who work in the shadows, experts in manipulation and propaganda, people capable of twisting narratives, suppressing information, and redirecting millions of eyes. This isn't just image management, it's influence on a near geopolitical scale. It shows two things. One, he knows how critical the situation is. Two, he believes his reach can still pull strings at the highest levels. Netflix hides none of this, but the average viewer doesn't notice. The subtlety of that moment tells you just how calculated he believes his moves can be. And yet, even with all this planning, the situation begins to slip. There's a point in the call where Diddy's voice shakes. He repeats himself. He loses coherence. His lawyer steps in, trying to calm him. On paper, it seems reassuring. No indictment yet, nothing finalized. But the tone is off. It's nervous. It's forced. His team is as scared as he is, losing control. This isn't a firm legal machine guiding a mogul. This is a team unraveling alongside their client. And Netflix includes it subtly, using it to mark a power shift. The legal strategy isn't just shaky, it's losing the battle before it even begins. Meanwhile, the documentary uses cinematic symbolism to manipulate viewer perception. Take the demolished Bad Boy Records building scene. Most viewers assume it was filmed during his legal troubles. It wasn't. It was months earlier, repurposed in editing. Netflix slows it down, adds somber music, and allows Diddy's words to hang like a eulogy for a fallen empire. The building wasn't a sign of collapse. It was a moment of reflection, a pivot to a future he envisioned. But in the film, it becomes a visual metaphor for downfall, and most viewers never question the timeline. The subtle editing cues, the music, the pacing, they all reframe reality without viewers noticing. One line in the documentary crystallizes this psychological blueprint. He's not asking, "Where did I go wrong?" He's asking, "How do I get out of this?" It's more than just a clever line in a film, it's the core of Diddy's approach. No self-reflection, no accountability, only escape strategy. This explains everything. The partying amidst scandal, the motivational clips while lawsuits mount, the public display of calm while private chaos ensues. The documentary isn't just chronicling events, it's revealing the mindset that drives them. The story deepens with rivalries. Most viewers think 50 Cent is trolling for entertainment or hype. But in the documentary, he explains the origins of tension in a way few anticipated. A shopping invitation from Diddy wasn't friendly. It was a test. Boundaries, comfort, compliance. 50 saw something behind the scenes that triggered a personal red flag. Netflix includes this subtly, framing 50 not as a provocateur, but as someone noticing early warning signs. It reframes the rivalry, turning it into a personal, psychological dynamic rather than just musical or chart-based. And then there's the Cassie footage. Viewers obsess over it, but most don't realize why Netflix structures the documentary around it. Diddy publicly acknowledged the footage before the documentary aired, making it indisputable. It becomes the backbone for every allegation, every testimony, every intensity build. Editors repeatedly cut to this clip, reinforcing credibility and narrative cohesion. It's the anchor of the story, a carefully placed reminder that grounds the chaos around a single, undeniable moment. Even the team's collapse is artfully presented. Diddy yells at his lawyers, "We're losing," and Netflix cuts the audio immediately after. Silence. No music, no ambient noise, just a pause. That silence isn't accidental. It represents the collapse, the realization that control is gone. Narrative, strategy, and persona, all slipping from his grasp. Most viewers skip over it, but the editors wanted you to feel it. The final interviews also tell a hidden story. Rosenberg, Dame Dash, Soul, jurors all have differing interpretations. One sees a decades-long grudge, another highlights systemic exploitation, another personal resentment. The jurors hint at incomplete public understanding, and insiders suggest the industry itself shielded Diddy for years. The documentary ends in subtle chaos, showing that this story isn't about a single man. It's a reflection of power, culture, and systemic silence. Netflix deliberately leaves it unresolved, forcing viewers to confront a fractured, emotional, and political narrative. And yet, perhaps the most overlooked moment is entirely silent. During one phone call meltdown, Diddy pauses mid-breath. His eyes shift, his voice cracks. That half-second freeze tells more than words ever could. It's the moment the invincible persona falters. The realization that control over footage, narrative, people, or perception is gone. You see it, feel it, and understand the human cost behind the empire. He's no longer commanding, no longer orchestrating. He's pleading for solutions he doesn't have, and Netflix lets it linger, unspoken, unhighlighted, but devastating in its clarity. The documentary, in essence, is a layered psychological study. Every decision, every cut, every narrative choice reveals a man grappling with power, influence, and the limits of both. Diddy's unraveling isn't just legal or financial, it's emotional and strategic. It's a cautionary tale about perception versus reality, about empire versus vulnerability, about the unanticipated ways a life lived in control can collapse when the smallest misstep, or an unplanned camera angle, exposes the cracks. So, what's the takeaway for viewers? Beyond the drama, beyond the controversy, the story isn't about the allegations themselves. It's about understanding the mechanisms of power, how perception can be manipulated, and how even the most calculated persona is ultimately human. It's about noticing the small details, the pauses, the edits, the words chosen or avoided, and realizing that the documentary doesn't just tell you what happened, it shows you how it was perceived, manipulated, and survived public scrutiny until it could no longer. Netflix didn't just tell a story about Diddy, they gave a masterclass in narrative, editing, psychology, and subtle symbolism. From accidental leaks to meticulously framed scenes, from personal tests between rivals to the collapse of an empire, every piece matters. The film's genius isn't in what it shouts, it's in what it whispers, what it leaves for the audience to connect. And the more you notice, the more the story shifts from a straightforward account into a layered, intricate study of a man, his empire, and the human moments that even wealth, fame, and influence can't fully protect. And finally, the silent, tiny moments, the shifts in breathing, the eye movements, the half-second realizations, are the true indicators of control lost. They are the subtle cracks in the armor, the moments that separate performance from reality. These are the moments most viewers miss. They are what turn a documentary into a psychological window, a glimpse into a world where influence is vast, but ultimately human limitations are inescapable. By the end of the reckoning, you realize this isn't just Diddy's story. It's a story about power structures, unseen influence, personal missteps, and the fragility of even the most calculated empires. The narrative may appear smooth on the surface, but under the layers, it's chaotic, unpredictable, and intensely human. And that, perhaps, is what makes the documentary so fascinating, so unnerving, and so unforgettable.